Hello, colors. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We start with this report claiming that President João Laporta is doing everything possible to ensure that Brazilian prodigy Vitor Roque arrives in January. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking on this other transfer news, as Atletico Madrid have reportedly entered the race to compete with Barca for this free agent, of course, who will be a free agent who plays for Real Betis by name Zico Rodriguez. We are also going to be discussing on that. So, guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona were not too keen to make a move in the January transfer window. Firstly, because the economic situation does not allow for much room, and secondly, because both the board and the sporting department consider that the squad is strong enough to compete successfully for the remainder of this season. However, the team's recent performances are beginning to worry Barcelona, even their upper management, giving rise to the feeling that the season could end in failure if no action is taken in this winter window. To that end, Sport is reporting that Barcelona are not ruling out some minimal measures to improve, above all, attacking performances. Barca President Joan Laporta and the economic department are trying to do everything they can to make signings if necessary. Now the focus is on finding new partners for Barca Studios with a real influx of capital immediately, which would serve to increase the wage bill. They are on the right track and there could be news before December 15. If this is achieved, the main focus is to bring in Brazilian Vitor Roque in January, which happens to be the top desire of both Laporta and sporting director Deco. There has been some debate about Barcelona prioritizing the signing of a new pivot in January over Vitor Roque's arrival. But unless there are injuries in that area of the pitch or unforeseen departures, everything indicates that this is not going to be the way forward. The hope is that Roque can bring fresh air to an attack that has been too stuck since the beginning of the season. The Brazilian wonderkid has the okay from the coaching staff. He was signed because Deco is convinced that he can be important, but also because Xavi Hernandez considers him to be an interesting option to provide goals. Vitor Roque, for his part, is waiting to be registered on the 1st of January, although he has not yet received confirmation. He was assured that something would be known by 15th of November, but the negotiations to raise capital are complicated. Everything just seems complicated, right? Vitor Roque's arrival up to this point in time is not still a guarantee, and that is what worries us, the Barca fans. Barcelona are heading towards the winter window, but nobody can predict what is ahead of us in terms of transactions or whatever. Because as it stands right now, we don't have that financial power to go out there to make the signings that we really want. We know currently we are not playing well. The squad is somehow, how can I put it? We are depressed. The team is not performing well. Everybody is not at its best. Like, it's a general problem, right? Xavi Hernandez needs to identify what is the problem so he can come about a solution to it after this international break, which I will call it a much needed international break. So Vitor Roque's arrival in January still continues to be a cause of headache in the Barca administration, President Laporta is doing all he can, according to this report, to make it happen. Because we have been having some kind of contradicting reports in the past few weeks saying that Barca will not be able to to bring in the player, or because they are not sure of if the financial health of the club will be okay by that time or conducive enough to bring him in. And of course, also reports talking about the fact that Barca, who are also strongly in need of a new pivot, as Oriol Romeo is not doing well at all, they are trying to see if they will go instead for a new pivot rather than going for Vitor Roque. But nothing is being confirmed about that. So as it stands right now, the Vitor Roque operation still remains possible, I should say, as Deco, President Laporta, and majority of the boss, the guys up there in the administration wants this to happen. Because you look at type, you can't sign somebody since the summer and you can't still bring him in as your own player, then I don't know. Because if we fail to bring Vitor Roque this summer, then probably they say it will only be next season. Then on to the next story of discussion. The name of Guido Rodriguez is not new for Barca fans. The Real Betis midfielder has long been linked with a move to Catalonia, most recently in the 2023 summer transfer window. Rodriguez, at 29 years of age, is seen as one of the market's best defensive midfielders, who is in a favorable contractual situation. He is still with Los Verde Blancos, ends next summer, making him an ideal target for interested clubs. According to reports from Sport, Barcelona's local rivals Atletico Madrid have already entered the scene to sign the Argentine. Diego Simeone sees him as an ideal candidate to take over the pivot position and is considering his arrival either in January or in the summer. They could become serious threats to Barca's chances in the coming weeks. Barca are aware of the Madrid-based club's interest but have not been prompted into a reactionary response. After all, Joan Laporta and co are unsure about their own financial situation and the feasibility of that operation. So given their crippling financial situation, the Blaugranas are understandably skeptical about their ability to sign players in January. With Rodriguez's contract running out in June, it is likely that Betis push for a sale in the winter transfer window. The light thus falls on Barca's administration. Vitor Roque is the priority, but if there is a chance, they could pull off one more signing in January. Rodriguez could be one of the best placed options on that front, for Xavi likes his profile. It remains to be seen if enough space can be created on the financial front for the entire operation hinges on it. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time.